Class 6. Today we'll be starting with respiratory system in humans. Okay, the process of respiring in humans. Humans have well developed respiratory system, and that means they are responsible for breathing, right? That means breathing in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. Lungs are the main respiratory organ of the body. The main respiratory organ in the body is lungs. Okay, why? Because the gases exchange there. Okay, and the path through which the air travels to the lungs is known as respiratory tract. So here in the figure you can see from nose till the lungs, this path that is going on is your respiratory tract. It comprises of nose, that is nasal, or you can call as nostrils, nasal cavity. Okay, then comes your pharynx, then is larynx, from larynx to trachea, from trachea to bronchi, and then the branches of bronchi are further divided into bronchioles. Then comes your alveolar sacs and then alveoli. Okay, so this is all about the passage or the flow chart that shows the path how air travels. First it goes to from nose, it travels to pharynx, then from pharynx it goes to larynx, from larynx to trachea, trachea to bronchi, and then bronchi is further divided into smaller branches, that is bronchioles. From bronchioles it reaches to air sacs, that is alveolar sac, from alveolar sac to alveoli. Okay, so this is about your respiratory system. Now what is respiration? Again I'll tell you, respiration is the process in which oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is released from the body. Energy is also released, which is utilized to carry out various living processes. Okay, now we'll see each and every part of respiratory system. First one is your nasal cavity. Now what happens in nose and nasal cavity? Air enters through nose through two nostrils. You have two holes in your nose. Through two nostrils the air enters and it reaches to nasal cavity. Here the air is warmed and filtered so that the temperature of your body is maintained. It is warmed and filtered, and then the air present inside the nostril, it stops all the dust particles and germs, and this sticks in the form of mucus so that these germs do not enter into the lungs. Thus the inhaled air that is inside your nose is cleaned by the hair and mucus that is present in the nasal cavity. Okay, after nasal cavity is your larynx and pharynx and trachea also. Now what is pharynx? Pharynx, from the nose the inhaled air enters to the region called pharynx. Now from pharynx what happens? It is the region behind the nose and mouth. If you see sideways in the diagram, you can see the pharynx. Okay, so it is behind nose and mouth, leading to throat. So the lower portion of pharynx leads to larynx. From pharynx it leads to larynx, and larynx is also known as voice box. And the opening of pharynx into larynx is guarded by a valve or a flap-like tissue that known as epiglottis. Okay, valve epiglottis. This closes and opens. Okay, when you eat food, the epiglottis opens. Okay, the closing, this epiglottis closes the opening while we swallow the food, because epiglottis when opens the air goes inside, but when you swallow food, food will go inside in the air passage, so it is difficult. So this valve or this flap like structure closes so that food may go into the digestive tract. Okay, then comes voice box. It has some tissues called vocal cords. These vocal cords that are present in the larynx region, they produce sounds. They vibrate and the passage of air, and they produce sound. From larynx it leads to trachea. Now this trachea is further divided into two branches called bronchi that is inserted in the chest. You can see from trachea two branches lead, it goes to the chest. Can you see the trachea? It leads to two lungs, okay, different lungs. Now this area is known as windpipe also. This windpipe is the delicate muscular tube that is situated in the front of oesophagus or windpipe. Windpipe is also known as oesophagus. Okay. Now, in the oesophagus region, this windpipe is also known as trachea. So, trachea's another name is oesophagus or windpipe. It is 12 centimeter in length, 2.5 in diameter, and the windpipe is divided into two parts. I already told, bronchi as it enters the lungs. Now, what is bronchi? When a person takes in or breathe in the air travels from nose or mouth into the larynx, pharynx, and then into the trachea. From the trachea, the main passageway is divided into two parts because two lungs are there. So, from there, trachea divides into two parts, and these two parts are known as bronchi, or singular if you take, it is bronchus. Now, each bronchus or bronchi is subdivided into smaller air passageways. You can see in the figure these small divisions. These are known as bronchioles. Okay. And from bronchioles, now these smaller branches are called bronchioles. These bronchioles lead to lungs. Now there is a pair of lungs, one left and one right. The left lung is two-lobed. Okay, can you see? The left lung is two-lobed, whereas the right lung is three-lobed. Why two-lobed in the left lung? Because there is heart present there, right? Under the lungs, there is near the heart, heart is present beneath the lungs, no? So, in the left side, so left side lung is smaller as compared to right side lung. That means left side has two-lobed and this right side has three-lobed. Okay. Now, each lung is a spongy bag-like structure that is covered with pleural membrane. Okay, which membrane? Pleural membrane. In between two pleural membranes, there is a fluid present that is known as pleural fluid. Okay, what happens? It keeps the surface of lung always moist so that the gases may enter or diffuse inside properly. And then the lungs are protected by the rib cage. You can see in the figures that I have already shown you. And these lungs are protected by the rib cage. And below the lungs is a muscular sheet called diaphragm that plays an important role in breathing. Then these bronchioles are at the end of the bronchioles there are microscopic air sacs that are known as alveolar sac, and each air sac has a smaller group known as alveoli. Now this alveoli has a rich supply of blood capillaries where exchange of gas takes place. So this is all about the respiratory system in human beings. And my next video will be talking about how do gases exchange, mechanism of breathing, and some common respiratory diseases. And with this we'll end up the chapter. Okay, so whatever I have taught you till now, please go through it properly and understand it. If you face any difficulty, you can ask the questions. Thank you.